안녕하세요. 여보세요. 감사합니다. I figured what I'd like to do is actually check out the music video for BDZ. This album, the BDZ album, has, as far as I know, the two A-side tracks with the videos, BDZ and then Candy Pop, right? And I think that there's about 10 tracks on the album total. So I think I'll do the music video, check out the two music videos, and then maybe finish off the rest of the album as far as the album review style or format, you know. Which has been a while. It's been a while since I just did any sort of reaction this way. So I think it'd be fun. It'd be fun to see a Twice music video. And this is the runtime on this video is 6 minutes long. So I think there's some cinematics at work here. Of course, it's a Japanese track, so the production value we know, as you know, they always go the distance. They always go all out for these types of productions, and so it'll be fun. It'll be fun to check it out and get back into the swing of things. In the meantime, I'm almost done with all preparations for the concert. I mean, I'm working on a sign right now. I'm working on a Chaeyoung sign. I hope she'll see it at some point, because that would be fun, you know. I don't know how I'm gonna hold a sign and also my phone, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to do it. I'll figure it out. Okay, so let's check out the music video for BDZ, which I believe is supposed to stand for bulldozer. Oh, let me bring up the lyrics, because I do have the lyrics. Okay, here we go.
夢と希望に満ちた世界、そして愛があふれる世界に生きるラブリー。ラブリーのいるこの世界はとても幸せだった。しかしある日、幸せな世界に不満を持つ悪者たちが現れ、ラブリーは連れ去られ、牢屋に閉じ込められてしまった。
Yeah, anime vibes. But laburis, is this?
ラブリーが世界から消え去ると、愛に満ちた世界は変わり始めてしまった。怒りや憎しみがあふれ、人々も荒れ果てていく。私たちはこんな世界を見ていられなかった。私たちが救わないと、ラブリーを救って愛が満ちた世界を取り戻さなければならない。今すぐ私たちはトワイスだ。
Okay, I think I know. I mean, I think I've seen like the memes before. JYP. Oh, they're home aloneing them. Sana. There they are. It is the laburis. It is. All I had to do was open it. There's the bulldozer. Okay. Real concrete concept. Well, that's one way. That's one way to do it for sure. So, man, it's a fun song. It's really feel good for kind of a. I mean, it's a cool concept, right? Because it's quite a juxtaposition. The song is, has bouncy percussion that's going on and synth also. Nice little triplet rhythms that are in there. It kind of changes it up and kind of puts the emphasis on a 3 count and almost gives it like a little bit of a sort of that island tropical type of vibe, very dancey. Very cool. That pre-chorus section, especially the way that it kind of starts up. Of course, they have like this awesome 808 and bass sound that they always have, right? And when at the beginning of the pre-chorus section, it's more it's more spaced out, right? When you get those bass and 808 beats, and in between you can hear this lovely piano sound. So lots of contrast throughout the entire song and video, everything, because for such an upbeat like feel good type of song. The visual's quite gritty, quite dark. I mean, it's still clean, but the tone is quite dark, right? So that's where you kind of get this, juxtaposition. Everything is actually fairly clean. I don't know. There's probably like some sort of term that's used, especially out of the Japanese side, for something that is like clean but gritty, like, you know what I mean, like both of those things, like, or something gritty that's done in a clean way, a neat way, kind of. But it's an interesting approach to it. It's definitely fun. It's I wasn't sure what to expect. I may have caught a little snippet of this song before in the past, but I would not have connected it to the visual. So, you know what I mean? It was like I didn't really know what to expect. But very, very fun, very fun. And of course the laburis. When like this intro part here, it starts talking about okay, and then just the hearing this, the laburi, and I was like, wait a minute, is that like laburis? Like that's them? Is it them? And it is. So this is where it begins. So it was with the BDZ concept that the laburis was introduced, and that's very cool. So this intro, this feels like a movie. This feels like, an anime. This feels like it's setting up the plot for you. And it's Sana, isn't it? Now, who's doing the actual narration of that? Is it... Because it doesn't sound like Sana. I mean, well, I don't know. It doesn't sound like her, though, right? I mean, I mostly hear her speak the Korean. But, I haven't really... I don't know, I haven't listened. I think it's just a narrator, isn't it? This reminds me of 16. This reminds me of like a group challenge or something, And they're all deciding like, okay, we'll move here and you'll do this. And okay, yeah. But that's what it feels like anyway. So this kind of stock music feel, I don't know, they probably produced it in-house and they could easily do that. But it's very tense, it's got it actually has some pretty interesting guitar sounds in there, but it's a real driving bass and drum sound. All this effects audio over it. Yeah. Quite a production. So right away you got it sounds of course like electronic drum sound, snare accents on the second and fourth beats, and the chords are being played on what sounds like a harpsichord plug-in. Maybe it's a keyboard, but that's using like one of those harpsichordy sounds, right? That's not like an electric piano clean, or even like later on, I think the pre-chorus section, the chords that you hear being played there are an actual piano, maybe plug-in, you know what I mean? It could be a piano plug-in, but it's not this sound. It isn't the same sound as this. So it sounds like we got some double stops going on in the bass, perhaps with the kick also, so it might be doubled. But that snare hit is very, very punchy and very, accented over. You hear that pop, 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 pop. It's like, it's very, very clean. The mix actually is very clean. Although there is a lot of it's quite a distorted bass sound. Yeah, see right here, that keys sound is dun 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 dun. That doesn't sound like that sort of wiry harpsichordy sound that was in the beginning. And then right before that, those little it's a sound I hear a lot in Twice, and even in I think in JYP tracks also, but it's that whoop whoop whoop, almost like a siren sound. It's a digital sort of beep or chirp or whatever, and that is coming in on it likes to line up with the accent on the 2 and the 4, but it will play an 8th note beat right after that. So we're kind of extending a bit of the accent a little bit. We're kind of keeping you tied to those 2nd and 4th beats. But this piano sound right here, it's always such a nice pairing when they do this, right? Very, very synth or digital sounding bass, and these piano chords, like I said, they might even still be some sort of plug-in or something like that, but it just has such a different quality to it. It's such a different timbre to it that it feels so nice, especially filling up the space that a lot of the bass and the percussion is leaving here in these few measures. It's going to ramp up, I think it's actually, this is where the 3 rhythm first comes in, I believe. Yep. So that boom 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 boom, right, 1 lolly 2 3 lolly 4, and then it's all the way through this 1 lolly 2 lolly 3 lolly 4. The triplet feel comes in to sort of ramp up the pre-chorus and then into chorus section. Okay, so in this chorus section, there's it's okay. Oh, panned right. Okay, in the mix, it's layered in there. It's some kind of organ sound, I think. It's definitely keys. It's a very staccato chord, almost like chunking it out on the keyboard. Bum, 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 bum. But it sounds like an organ almost, or like a organ plug-in, a synth organ. It has a bit of a hollow sort of sound to it. Like it isn't, that even that harpsichord, that wiry harpsichord sound. It's not even that sort of synth piano sound. It's something way different. And it's layered in there, like what the percussion is doing in the bass, and some of the other sort of busy synth hits that are coming in. But this chord progression is being chunked out. It's so it sits way back in the mix, and it's almost like it's kind of ghostly, it's kind of like haunting. It's a little bit of a dark touch to this mix that is overall very upbeat and sort of bright, you know what I mean, and cheery. There's a lot of reverb on it too. There's a lot of reverb on it, so that's kind of increasing its breathiness, kind of. If it is sort of a hollow sounding organ type of instrument sound, the amount of reverb, you know, it makes it feel like it's filling a big empty space, which might even be the application for it within the mix, but it gives it this undertone. You know, it's like I didn't even catch it the first listen. Like when I first was listening to this, I didn't catch that at all. So it's not like an overpowering part, but it's it's kind of dark and atmospheric. It gives a little bit of like some sort of suggestive edge, some sort of like implied undertone of like darkness to this, which actually works really well with the concept. You know what I mean? Because they're trying to free the laburis to bring back, you know, all this happiness and everything in the world. So that's really interesting. Like it's a crazy sound. See, that sound like a piano. Nina trying to be cute. Well, she was cute. That guy just didn't go for it. Sus, bro. How did this pizza get here? And Sana just hits him with a fire extinguisher. Wait a minute. Look at this. Wait. Okay, this dude, first of all, is like, oh, a pizza. Where did this come from? It's like, you don't just eat pizza if it appears. I mean, video game logic, yeah, you would just eat the pizza if it showed up. But I mean, you know, in real life, it's like, where did this come from? Did you guys order pizza? But look at this. Look at Nayeon and Jihyo. Look at this. Look. What? Oh my goodness. Nayeon and Jihyo, the onlys who are like, good job. You hit that guy with a fire extinguisher. Oh my goodness. And Sana's like, oh, sorry. She's like, I didn't mean to. But, you know, Mina was in trouble. So, what do you want me to do? Oh, he got the Johnny treatment. He got the Metal Gear Johnny treatment, man. The syncopation, really nice. Like that was so spaced out. You know what I mean? Like the most of the mix drops out there. Of course, it is the sort of like rap section of the song, but the syncopation on that was really good, man. It you know, it was very swimmy. All of a sudden, you know, it took on that island sort of vibe, and that the rhythm for those lines right there was so it's like just had the flow was really strong, right? Like for it being so laid back, it really sort of started to pull you back and forth, and it's like, where are we going? That was nice. That was a nice touch, for having such a small window of time to work with. You know what I mean? Like that was actually quite significant. And there they are. With Jonghyun outside, it's like, you know what I mean? It's all a part of their plan, right? In the beginning, it's all part of the plan. This was part of the plan, you know? He's getting caught. part of your plan too? Of course. Reminds me of work. When I'm at work, I have to dress like that. Oh man. And right on time. See, it was all part of the plan. Who did they work for, though? You know? Like, who did they work for, and why were they trying to keep the laburis away? Just to create the chaos? Just to do that? You know, it seems like there has to be some other point. I mean, sure, you don't need it, right? I mean, for the sake of the story arc or whatever. You don't necessarily need it. But the way I think is like, who are you guys working for? It's not the red tie guy. That guy with the red tie might be in charge of them in that room. But he's not like the big boss, you know? He's not like the final boss or whatever. That's for sure. Got hit with a Care Bear stare, man. And now it's all good. And now everyone's happy again. I don't know, man. You know, you might want to hire some better henchmen, right? Some better miscellaneous henchmen and all that, because they're just gonna, as soon as the laburis are out, they're just gonna start dancing around and stuff. But it's definitely a great track, as you know, it's to be expected with the Japanese songs and the Japanese tracks. They always go, you know, just to the highest levels. This was fun. This was fun as a song. The feel of it, the style, the mix, a lot of the lines, of course. The chorus is a good time. It's a great time. And a really interesting approach, like I said, to the mix. In fact, I was thinking about the plot, but that last section, I wouldn't be surprised if that sort of organ sound was not even present in the mix anymore. There's other synth sounds that are going on, so I wouldn't be surprised if that had dropped out at this point. It would make sense conceptually because the laburis have been freed, so to have a lot of bright sort of springy, sparkly synth sounds going on instead, to fill out the space, as opposed to having the sort of haunting ambient organ sound that's deeply layered in the mix. That would make sense conceptually. But it's really fun. It was really fun. Man, this is where the laburis began. That's interesting. That's because I really didn't, because I hadn't seen this before, and I hadn't seen anything about them until, you know, the tour started, and they played the shows, the dates in Japan, and then the merch dropped, and then I was like, oh, look, you know, laburis, you know. And then, of course, in the, I didn't even mention it in the Hare video, but the what is it, the chansas, I think, the other little guys, the little Pokemon looking figures that were running around in there, now they're in the mix too. And some people were thinking, like, are they rivals to the laburis now? You know, like, is this a thing? My theory, and I don't know, this could be wrong, I think the laburis evolve, not okay, maybe not evolve like Pokemon style, but maybe they can like, you know, sort of a powered up form, if you will. Like, you know, laburis, like maybe they almost did it there when they were like looking all mad, and then they just flash real bright. Like maybe they don't have the ability yet to transform into their Shansa form, Chiansa, I think, something like that. But it's just interesting. It's just interesting concepts, you know. But it was fun. It was fun. It's good. That's a as to be expected, another great Twice song. I can't believe how close it is to the concert. It feels weird. It still feels weird. It's gonna feel weird, and it's gonna feel weird even like after it's done, you know, and I come back. I know that for sure. I already know what to expect with a lot of these types of experiences. At least generally speaking. But we will continue. I think I'm gonna do the Candy Pop song next, and of course these will, because they are the Japanese tracks and videos, they will be partially blocked by the Warner Music DMCA on it, but that's okay. That's okay. I knew that was gonna happen too. It's all part of the plan. So that should be the next one. But BDZ, it's fun. It's a fun. What a crazy! It's a cool concept. It's a fun concept, and I wasn't expecting that at all. Like this juxtaposition between the lightheartedness of the song and the sort of visual concept being very dark. But overall, it was a blast. It was a fun time, and I got to see the beginning of the laburis, which is that's pretty awesome. Oh man, now I'm wondering. Now I need to know what happens with the laburis. It's a whole nother thing. Okay, but I'll be checking out Candy Pop next time.